Do Americans have the right to clean air and water? Okay, think about this for a second. United States, the richest country on earth, and you do not have the legal right to clean air. You do not have the legal right to clean water. In fact, if your tap runs brown or the air outside gives your kid asthma, there is no constitutional guarantee that anybody is going to do a damn thing about it. Sounds outrageous, right? It is, but it's legal. It's legal. So let's break this down. The U.S. Constitution, written in the 1700s, does not mention the environment, not once. No mention of clean water, clean air, or the right to live in a safe, healthy environment. Meanwhile, over 100 countries have already done what the U.S. hasn't. They've added environmental rights directly into their constitutions. France passed its environmental charter, giving every citizen the right to live in a balanced and respectful environment. Ecuador went even further, giving nature itself legal rights in its 2008 constitution. Norway treats environmental protection as a constitutional duty, requiring the state to safeguard natural resources for future generations. In South Africa, the Constitution guarantees everyone the right to an environment that is not harmful to their health or well-being. Even India, with one of the largest populations on Earth, has issued its courts to recognize environmental protections as a right to life. In contrast, the United States, the global superpower, is still stuck debating whether corporate profits outweigh poisoned water. Flint, Michigan, okay, you already know the story. Lead in the water, children poisoned, and government slow to respond. But here's what gets missed. Flint wasn't a one-time failure. Communities all across America, especially poor, brown, black, and rural, are all facing the same neglect. Dirty drinking water in Jackson, Mississippi. Toxic chemical spills in East Palestine, Ohio. East Palestine? Cancer alleys in Louisiana and Texas. This is not a glitch in the system. This just is the system. Because when clean air and water are not rights, then they become privileges. And corporations, they buy the privilege to pollute. The Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, sounds like a safeguard, but it is limited. Most of its rules are based on executive power, which means that they can be weakened or deleted by any president with a pen or marker. And corporations know this. Big oil, big agriculture, big chemical. They spend millions lobbying against stronger protections, against fines, and against accountability. Why? Because paying the fine is cheaper than cleaning up their mess. And while they lobby, Americans lose health, lose trust, and lose lives. So what would it mean to declare clean air and water as human rights in the U.S.? Well, it would mean that your child's asthma would not go ignored, your town's poisoned river would have to be cleaned up, and your government would be legally obligated to protect your health, not just balance the budget. Other countries are already doing it. In Finland, clean water is a protected right, and 100% of the population has access to clean drinking water. Slovenia became the first EU country to constitutionally protect their water as a public good and not to be privatized. Indigenous Maori values have been used to grant a river full legal personhood, forcing polluters to answer to more than just profits. This is what leadership looks like. And we're way behind. But we don't have to be that way. You know, makes me wonder what the hell these guys have been doing for the last 100 years. You know, like, why is there nothing, no protections at all for our water and air? None. I mean, I know they dumbed us down, but Jesus Christ. Are we that dumb that we didn't even notice? You know, this is what we get for believing in. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, just you could believe what you saw on TV. You could believe the guy on the news. You know, you could believe. You can't believe anybody or anything anymore. And they just keep getting away with it. They just keep, we're just chasing our tails all the time, you know, telling us to be afraid of each other and hating each other. And they'll fire something up, you know, they'll do something, and we're so fucking dumb that we fall for it every time for decades. For 100 damn years. Why isn't anything like this in the Constitution? Nothing. I mean, Christ, not even the 60s got anything done. You know, all the protesting and uprising there was in the 60s, and like here we are in 2025 and there's nothing. That's wrong. That's a problem that needs to be taken care of. And that might be up to us. I mean, apparently everything else is up to us because nobody's doing anything these days. Anything positive anyway. So, there's my take on that. I never imagined that I would ever have to think whether or not, or have to fight whether or not water or air would be something that I would have to, you know, fight for. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is late stage capitalism at its best. You know, you got to put a price tag on every damn thing. We are so far behind in times. We really are. And hopefully we can catch up. You know, first step is knowing, right? So I know I'll be talking to more people about this, as I hope you guys will too. This is something that we should be talking about, getting this into our Constitution. Because, you know, what's the next generation gonna get if we don't? Thanks for coming, guys. Thank you for your likes and your views and your subscriptions. And I hope to see you in the comments, maybe at a protest. We'll see you around, though. Definitely see you around. Thanks. Have a good night.